In those days, when much people was with Jesus, and had not what they should eat, when his disciples were called together, he said to them, I have ruth on the people, for lo, now the third day they abide me, and they have not what to eat. And if I leave them fasting into their houses, they shall fall in the way, for some of them came from far. And his disciples answered to him, Whereof shall a man be able to fill them with loaves here in wilderness? And he asked them, How many loaves have ye? Which said, 7. And he commanded the people to sit down on the earth. And he took the 7 loaves, and did thankings, and brake, and gave to his disciples that they should set forth. And they set it forth to the people. And they had a few small fishes, and he blessed them, and commanded that they were set forth. And they ate, and were fulfilled. And they took up that was left of the remnants, 7 baskets. And they that ate were as 4,000 of men. And he left them. And anon he went up into a boat with his disciples, and came into the coast of Dalmanutha. And the Pharisees went out, and began to dispute with him, and asked a token of him from heaven, and tempted him. And he, sorrowing within spirit, said, What seeketh this generation a token? Truly I say to you, a token shall not be given to this generation. And he left them, and went up again into a boat, and went over the sea. And they forgot to take bread, and they had not with them but 1 loaf in the boat. And he commanded them, and said, See ye, and beware of the sourdough of the Pharisees, and of the sourdough of Herod. And they thought, and said one to another, For we have not loaves. And when this thing was known, Jesus said to them, What think ye? For ye have not loaves. Yet ye know not, neither understand. Yet ye have your heart blinded. Ye having eyes see not, and ye having ears hear not. Neither ye have mind. When I break 5 loaves among 5,000, and how many coffins full of broken meat took ye up? They said to him, 12. When also 7 loaves among 4,000 of men, how many baskets of broken meat took ye up? And they say to him, 7. And he said to them, How understand ye not yet? And they came to Bethsaida, and they brought to him a blind man, and they prayed him that he would touch him. When they had taken the blind man's hand, he led him out of the street, and he spat into his eyes, and set his hands on him, and asked him if he saw anything. And he beheld, and said, I see men as trees walking. Afterward again he set his hands on his eyes, and he began to see, and he was restored, so that he saw clearly all things. And he sent him into his house, and said, Go into thine house, and if thou goest into the street, say to no man. And Jesus entered and his disciples into the castles of Caesarea of Philippi. And in the way he asked his disciples, and said to them, Whom say men that I am? Which answered to him, and said, Some say John Baptist, others say Elijah, and others say as one of the prophets. Then he saith to them, But whom say ye that I am? Peter answered and said to him, Thou art Christ. And he charged them that they should not say of him to any man. And he began to teach them that it behooveth man's son to suffer many things, and to be reproved of the elder men, and of the highest priests, and of the scribes, and to be slain, and after 3 days to rise again. And he spake openly the word. And Peter took him, and began to blame him, and said, Lord, be thou merciful to me, for this shall not be. And he turned and saw his disciples, and menaced Peter, and said, Go after me, Satan, for thou savorest not those things that be of God, but those things that be of men. And when the people was called together with his disciples, he said to them, If any man come after me, deny he himself, and take his cross, and pursue me. For he that will make safe his life shall lose it. Soothly, whoso will make his soul, that is his life, for he that will make safe his life shall lose it. And he that loseth his life for me, and for the gospel, shall make it safe. For what profiteth it to a man, if he win all the world, and do impairing to his soul? Or what exchanging shall a man give for his soul? But who that acknowledgeth me and my words, in this generation, adulterous and sinful, also man's son shall acknowledge him, when he shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels.